Hello, fellow collectors. So today I am super pumped for what I found recently at one of my local comic book shops. I found a stash of Wizard magazines. I found about 10 of them. So I want to go ahead and show you just the covers of these magazines and just talk a little bit about Wizard magazine itself, especially for those of you who may have never heard or seen these magazines before. So Wizard magazine first started coming out in 1991. It lasted for 20 years. The last publication of it came out in 2011. On the covers, you had obviously all kinds of comic book heroes. So we start off here. We got Wolverine on this one here. We got Spawn on this one. Wizard, they featured heavily a lot of the Image and Valiant comic book heroes of the time there. And then we have old Spider-Man and Batman there. I have been on the hunt for these for quite a while. And like I said, I found them at a local comic book store and they were selling these for about $1 a piece. They had a huge allotment of them. Most of these are in really good condition. And I'm really looking forward to going through them and just rereading just what was happening or the news that was happening at the time. Love this cover of Wolverine there. And obviously, you can see I tried to take out a lot of the Spider-Man ones. There's a little Spider-Pig right there. Just tried to find some of my favorite comic book heroes for the covers. Like, look how cool this cover is. You have Snake Eyes and Wolverine just going at it here on the cover. Probably my favorite one of the ones I have found so far. And then we have one last one here of Spider-Man on the cover. The year-end spectacular. Few more covers to show you. Picked up this one too, just with the new Batman Spawn crossover happening here soon. Just thought this would be a really cool one too, with that coming back out again. And we have little Batgirl and Spider-Woman there. Then we have old Spider-Man again. And then I think this one folds out too. If I'm not, yeah, here we go. Like, look at that. How awesome is that? And then our last one is another Spider-Man cover there. So what was really the hoopla over the Wizard magazines? Well, first off, you had a comic book price guide in the back there. So at this time, this was huge, Bill, to figure out how much your comic books were worth. Also, besides a comic book price guide, they had a price guide for figurines, especially at this time in the 90s, especially the old Star Wars figurines were becoming really popular at that time. So you have this huge price guide for all your favorite comics and figurines at that time. The magazine itself, Wizard magazine, was just packed full of all kinds of awesome information. Like right here, you have the Wizard Top 100 of the highest ordered comic books for the month of January at this time. You can see Marvel versus DC number 2, X-Men number 50, and just chock full of all kinds of information from comic books to anime to what was going on at the movies at the time. Just a ton of articles. So anything you need to know about comic books and just nerd culture at the time, you would find it here in the Wizard magazine. If you are able to find any Wizard magazines, whether it's at an antique store, at a comic book shop, I would highly suggest picking up at least one or two. It is so cool to be able to go through here and just see what was going on at that point in comic book culture. The movies that were supposedly going to be made, the shows that were supposedly going to be made, what was popular at the time, how much things were going for. there's just so much interesting and fun information. I look at this top 10 artists, top 10 writers. Just so much cool information. I've seen these selling at antique stores for about $7 to $8. Like I said, I got lucky and found a big stash of these for $1 a piece at a comic book store. So yeah, so if you come across them, pick one up. You will not be disappointed. Hope everyone's doing well.